Hello, Steve Kniss, Commonwealth Journal Sports Editor, and welcome to another edition of the Commonwealth Journal Sports Show. Today we've got a couple of features. The first one being on Pulaski County High School senior Peyton Randolph. She plays volleyball for Pulaski County, and she became one of only 2 players in the school history to achieve 1,000 kills in her career. And it just so happens to be the other person that has 1,000 kills was her older sister, Samantha. We'll be talking to her, Samantha, and their older sister, Jessica, who was an all-state softball player for Pulaski County and led them to the program's first ever regional softball title. So we'll talk to all 3 of those. The Randolphs, the 3 sisters, have been fantastic athletes for the Pulaski County over the past 15 years or so. Also, we'll be talking to Somerset High School football coach Robbie Lucas. We'll be talking about Somerset football. Mainly, we'll be talking about the Lexington Christian game. And if you missed that game, you got to see it. It's on some videos, but it's a great game. Unfortunately, Somerset lost by 1 point. Lexington Christian went for the 2-point conversion on the last score, which was a difference in the game. But we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about the upcoming game, Washington County, which will be the last district game, which is this Friday. But first, I want to show you a video that was from the Lexington Christian game. This video was taken by Charlie Crawford, who has supplied a lot of videos for me over the this year. But this is a video of Cade Grundy making a takeaway, and it didn't go Somerset's way. But I just want to show you the video, and then you can make the call. So take a look at this. What did you think? Well, I watched it a few times, and of course, Charlie slowed the video down, and it pretty much will look like Kay did get the ball away from the player before he hit the ground. His knee hit the ground. The one line official was right there. Looked like he was like maybe 4 or 5 yards away. It's pretty close, but the call didn't go Somerset's way. Lexington Christian kept the ball, and they went on to score. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hello. Hang on, guys. It's the Kentucky High School Athletic Association Commissioner talking about that video. Hang on. Yes, sir. Yes, we watched that video. Well, to us, it did look like he took the ball away before he hit the ground. I see. Okay. Thank you. Well, there you go. They're not going to overturn it. And videos in high school level, well, we're probably a long ways away from that. We're used to it at the pro level, we're used to it at the college level, but it's just one of those things. And if you listen to Coach Lucas's comment, he didn't really get into blaming the referees. Coach Lucas took full responsibility of the loss on himself, which that's sort of the kind of guy he is. He stands behind his team, and he doesn't look at outside factors on the determination of the game. So that's the way he's always been since I've known him. So they're obviously probably going to play again in the second round for the district championship. Last year they played for the regional title. This year it'll probably be for the district championship. And because Lexington Christian won that game, it'll be back in Lexington. So everybody here is hoping for a different outcome, but either way, it's going to be just a barn burner of a game and be one that's a must-see game. Talking about football, we've got 2 big games this weekend. The big game, of course, here in town will be Pulaski County and Southwestern playing from the Superintendent's Bowl, the county championship, as you may call it. Over the years, it's been for a district championship, and these teams have usually met up, played for regional titles. This year, Southwestern's a little bit down, struggling a little bit. They did make it into the playoffs by courtesy of the win over South Laurel. And chances are these two teams will probably play again in the first rounds of the playoffs. So this might be part 1 of a 2-part series. But, Pulaski County and Southwestern have always been great rivalry, great football games, 2 great football programs. and then they end up playing in the playoffs again, which looks like it's going to happen again. But this year won't be for regional title. Obviously, now the district teams are having to play first before they get off to the next level. So the regional championships sort of went away, I guess, with this new RPI seeding process and everything on the third round. Somerset will close out the district, against Washington County this weekend at the Briar Patch or William Clark Field. This is, like Coach Lucas has said, this is going to be a big game for them. The big thing they'll have to try to get over is trying to get over the game from Lexington Christian and put that behind them and concentrate on the podium in front of them. I'm sure we're all looking forward to, the fans, the players, and probably even the coaches. They may not want to say this, but they're looking forward to that rematch with Lexington Christian in the second week of the playoffs, and hopefully that'll happen. It should happen, but they've still got a lot of games to go. Somerset play Washington County, host them this weekend, and then next week they close out the regular season as they go to Corbin, and that was used to always a big rivalry game. They used to be in the same district, and so that's another big game. Now, obviously, it doesn't have any implications as far as the playoffs or anything, but it's just an old-time rivalry, so that'll be a good game to see. Pulaski and Southwestern. Pulaski County will close out their regular season against Tates Creek, while Southwestern will close out their season against Madison Central. But this weekend, you got the Pulaski and Southwestern County School Rivalry Superintendent's Bowl game at Pulaski County, and then Somerset will host Washington County. So 2 big football games coming up. Also, we got a lot of other things coming up this week. This weekend, we have the cross-country regional championships at Cave Lake in Monticello, Kentucky. All 3 of our local cross-country programs will be competing in that. Somerset will be in the Class A division, while Southwestern and Pulaski County will be in Class 3A, fighting for those regional titles and hopefully to make it onto the state championships, which is the next weekend in Lexington. The 12th Region Volleyball just got finished with the district championships just tonight. This is Tuesday night. Pulaski County at Somerset, they won the 47th district title. This was their eighth straight district crown. So they will move on to the 12th region. Southwestern won the district title, 48th district title at the Wigwam Tuesday night. They had to beat Wayne County, which Wayne County beat them earlier in the season, which Southwestern went in as a 2 seed. Also, Wayne County beat Southwestern in the district last year, but then Southwestern came back and won the regional title as a district runner-up. So those are probably the 2 best teams in the region. We'll probably see them again. Chances are they'll meet up again in the finals, but it will be at Southwestern's Wigwam. So that's coming up this week too, the regional tournament. It's an 8-team tournament, just like in basketball. We'll go on through the week. We'll probably finish up on Thursday before the football hits. So hope you enjoy everything we got here, and here's our first feature on the Randolphs. Just talk a little bit about what it meant to you to be able to come watch your sister play in her last game at Pulaski. I know you got a lot of memories here and stuff too.
Well, it's funny because my mom and dad and I were sitting up there talking about how many years that we've been in this gym watching Samantha. We'll say that. And watching That's good, that's good. Watching Samantha and watching me. And it's been really special to be able to watch them both grow as women and as volleyball players, and it's been really special.
Now, Samantha, I mean, you had 1,000 kills. I mean, what's it like for you to have your sister in the same category? Only 2 category.
I hit the ball harder than she did, but no, I'm just kidding. Peyton's turned into a really good volleyball player and just an amazing young lady. I'm probably more proud of that than just.
And what was it like for you to have both your sisters here to watch you play your last game here?
Well, it was pretty awesome because one was an hour away and the other one like 7 hours away, so I don't get
you played softball All-State. How did they go astray and get playing volleyball?
I don't know, but now that I've watched it for so many years, I kind of wish that I had played. Teresa always used to joke that I needed to play, but I did not get the height that they got. I have heels, I know, but I would have been a back row player, not a front row player.
What are y'all some of the memories as kids like playing? I know y'all were sort of ages apart, so you didn't work probably competitive with each other a little bit, but what competitive did y'all have as sisters?
Well, probably more like between Samantha and I, and then between these two, because there's 6 years between the two of them and the two of us, and then there's 12 years between Peyton and I.
Right.
So when I went to college, Peyton was in kindergarten. So there wasn't much competitiveness there, but Samantha and I for sure, and then between the two of them, especially since they played volleyball, there was a lot of competitiveness there.
Now, you were going to be a cheerleader when you was little. What sort of got you into volleyball?
I was a cheerleader freshman year, and I played volleyball freshman year too. And then I guess I just decided that cheer wasn't for me, and so I picked up volleyball full time, started playing club,
Okay.
and I like it.
I'm here with Rob Lucas, Somerset football coach. First, let's talk about the Lexington Christian game. I mean, I know it wasn't the way it went to turn out. It had to be just a great high school game, and it just came down to who had the ball last almost.
Well, I'm sure as a fan it was fun to watch. As a coach, it was not. We had breakdowns in all phases of the game plus coaching, and that's not a shot at Lexington Catholic or taking anything away from what they did. They made a lot of great plays. Coaching-wise, we need to do better. Offensive, defense, special teams, obviously. The fundamentals we broke down on, and some of that's them. Some of that's them being really good athletes, being fast. Some of it's lack of good coaching. Some of it's lack of taking coaching. But it was a heck of a ball game. Our hats off to them. They won it at their place. They secured the district title, I'm sure. And if we're lucky enough, we'll see them in about a month.
When you talk about the second half, you talked about there was in a no hurry. Was that part of hurting on defense? Because I mean, they were really no huddle and
Part of that is when they sit you down, you don't get the blitz like you want to. You don't get to get in the sets you want. They're a very good football team. Their system is what it is. They run it very quickly, run it to almost to a perfect tempo, to be quite honest with you. So they're just them running the system the way they do, us getting adjusted to it. I think it took us about a half. The athletes they have in there made it very difficult. Number 20, number 9, obviously. Number 6, the quarterback 15. They've got several nice kids that can make plays and did make plays for them. So, like I said, a good high school football game, not the outcome we wanted. But hopefully, even a loss can be a good loss if you learn something from it. We'll see if we do.
now offensively, I think y'all scored 28 points in that second half. So offensively, y'all were just going full throttle.
And some of it, they busted plays, they busted coverages and things like that. Some of it we drove it down. Several good runs. You can all go back to this point in the season. It goes back to small mistakes. It could be, 9 guys doing what they're supposed to do and 2 not. And we had a lot of that. We got beat up front some. They did a good job and were much more physical and quicker up front than what we expected. So I think a lot of that came down to the fact that when you get all 11 on the same page, like most coaches will tell you, you have success. When you have 9 or 10 on the same page and 1 or 2 not, sometimes that kills drives and kills plays.
Now I know you talked about kids stepping out with Miller being out, and you had 5 guys that scored. It seemed like you had a lot of players that stepped up and made big plays throughout the game.
We did. I was really happy with Cam Austin how he run, Mikey Garland how he ran the ball. Kai, I thought, ran the ball well. We took some sacks that some were his, some weren't his. You look down the line, and of course, Gabe Grundy played extremely well. He made several big plays, and a lot of people don't see the change in Gabe. Gabe is a defensive player. I think he held that kid to maybe 3 catches. The kid was the leader in the state, if I'm not mistaken, big yardage. He held him to 3 catches, which is exceptional. Had a big hit. Punts for us, returns kicks for us. Gabe is doing quite a bit for it. And he's grown. Like the first 2 years, I don't think we could have put that on him. I don't think he would have wanted to do it. Now he's asking for it. He wants to play. Very proud of how far he's come. You look at just both sides of the ball. We had several kids step up. Our D-line, I don't think, played as well as it did the weeks before. Our linebackers maybe a little bit behind, but our secondary acquitted itself pretty decently, especially with the high-octane offense they had. There's just a lot of room for improvement. It was a quality team we saw. We got exposed in some areas, and we need those people that we were talking about to step up, especially the next few weeks.
Were you surprised they went for that 2-point conversion? Because usually it's a away team that goes forward.
We watched them against Lexington Catholic. They had went for it. We saw it coming. We felt pretty good about the play call we had. Again, we had a bust up front. We had a couple of kids not go and do what they were supposed to do. I'll say this: I should have taken a timeout. It was a huge play at the time. We felt good about the formation. We had enough film on them. We got a pretty good idea that 15 wanted to keep the ball. He had in the Lexington Catholic game, I think I told you or somebody then that he had taken and put that team on his back. He touched it 35 times during that game in some form or fashion. And he did again. Really, if you're just looking as a coach and not as an opponent, his team has improved a great deal, especially the quarterback, a lot more physical, runs that offense very well. Hats off to them. They won. The 2-point play was a big deal. Special teams at some point was going to cost us because we hadn't been good. We had a punt go through our hands. It cost us. I think they ended up scoring either 3 or 6 off it. We had an EP that was missed, and that's what it basically came down to. So,
I know there's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts in this game, and I didn't even notice at the time, but I saw this video where Kate Grundy had a takeaway, and that was, I guess, maybe their second score.
There's that. The takeaway that we thought we had, there was the chains being moved. I'm sure you saw that. You may not want to address that. We're not going to address that. Lexington Catholic Christian, won. They came out on top. The chains, all that stuff, the penalties. I thought the officials, for the most part, allowed both teams to play. And I think in a game like that, that's what you want. The fact is they won. We lost. We're going to learn from it. If we do what we need to do, hopefully we'll see them in about a month. If we don't, if we let them beat us twice, you know what I'm saying? If we let them beat us twice and this derails our season, then it could be over a lot quicker than that. But hopefully if we get the opportunity, we can come back and quit ourselves much better.
You sort of touched on that, and I know a lot of people said, well, we'll get them next time, but I know there's still football in between now and then. How tough is it to get that game past you and not look forward to, that?
It's more tough than what I thought. It's the first time we've lost. So anytime you have a team lose like this, you'll see some fracture with some players. The coaching staff, I think our angst was high. We wanted to win that game very badly. As a coach, it always comes back to me. It's mine. The kids perform and they do what I ask them to do, and if they don't, then like I said, it comes back to me. It is a big game. We want to get there. To be quite honest with you, it exposed a lot of things we need to work on. I'm looking forward to working on those this week. It also showed what level we got to play to, that matched the intensity. I don't think our effort was as good as it needed to be. I'm just being quite honest with you. All that being said, we lost by 1 point. We still need to come back to work. Right now it's Washington County. And for some reason, the head coach put us playing Corbin week 11, which is not a smart thing. We actually needed an off week to heal. Then we'll come back and look at our first round opponent, which I believe will be Danville if everything plays out and we get a win Friday night. I think it'll be Danville. So basically what we're doing is playing our district schedule for the regular season all over again. So
You talk about Washington County. I think they got 2 running backs over 100 yards, so they're going to be a running
let
team.
me say this: the quarterback is as good an athlete as you'll see. If you want to see a guy that can slip and slide and slither and move all over the place with great speed, put the foot down and go, he's really good. The running back number 4 is really good. Big kid, small but big. When he gets going, he's a tough load. Number 10, a receiver, is a very good receiver. They easily, let me say this, they easily could put us out on Friday night. They could knock us down a little bit. They're a good football team. They're young in some spots, but just a really good team that if we don't pay attention to, 1 loss will turn into 2 and 2 could turn into 3. So certainly this week is big for us.
What will be the keys to be able to beat Washington County?
Coming back from that, not letting LCA beat us twice. You can always talk about not turning the ball over. It's senior night. I always worry about the emotion of that night because part of what happened to us against LCA, I think we drained pretty quickly. I think we come in so high and so intense that adrenaline was flowing, we drained. And I think that's why you saw some kids dead-legged and didn't look like they were giving effort, but I think they've given so much so early. Controlling the emotions will be the big things we go through. Stopping number 6 in the quarter, stopping number 4, make sure number 10 doesn't get loose. Defensively tackling, special teams, no snafus that cost us the game. There's a lot of things that we need to work on. It's a good week to work on those things, win, lose, or draw, see how we improve.
Now, you talk about sicknesses or any injuries, or what's really happening?
We've got 2 or 3 shoulder injuries. Tate Madden has a shoulder injury. Mikey Garland's had a shoulder injury. Connor Speaks, his shoulder has been hurt all year long. It's only gotten worse. We've had a flu-like symptom that's gone through us. We had 16 players out on Monday's practice. We'll see how today's go. We've got a lot going against us right now.
That's like about 2-week process.
You're right at it. So, we'll see how those kids do and how they go throughout the week. Dr. Sims does a great job with our kids, gets them in, gets them out, gets them ready to play. And surely, after what we've experienced Friday night, we've got a lot of kids that want to get back on the field Friday and get rid of that taste in their mouth.
All right, Coach, good luck.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.